Bottle, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Good morning, young man.
You're too late. He's being sworn in. You're too fucking late.
Do you want me to call back after it's over?
No. I just meant you're too late to stop him. I told you 2 months ago, build a time machine. Where are you at? Nowhere.
No, that's not true. I have a good console. I have a dashboard for the time machine.
Okay.
All the kids today on the computers, they have the dashboard.
Sure. You got to start there.
Yeah.
It's all about the interface.
Did you watch it? I'm glad I didn't watch it.
It's on right now.
Oh.
J.D. Vance sworn in, Trump about to be.
And is Obama there? I guess he is. But Michelle's not there.
Michelle's not there.
Oh, why, Michelle? Why did Barack have to go? I guess he has to go. Does he have to go?
Yeah. If you're going to criticize Trump for not going, you got to go.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I would have.
I don't know that he did, but you know.
Oh, you don't know if he did go?
I don't know if he criticized Trump for not going.
Oh, but did you see him in the audience?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay, I've seen. This
I swear.
is the type of thing that's going to make me turn it on in the background. Want me to turn it on in the background?
No, I can tell you what's going on.
Yeah. See, because you're able to do a show.
Melania is dressed like Hamburglar.
That makes sense to me.
Which worked out because, like, when he went in to kiss her, the brim stopped him. And she wouldn't take off the hat. So you kind of get, like, the method to her madness.
I don't even know what the Hamburglar looks like, but I got the exact image of the Hamburglar.
I've also seen Zorro. I've seen the Black Spy from Spy versus Spy.
Does she wear a cape or just the hat?
She's not wearing a cape, but she's wearing a very severe look.
Remember the time that she wore this? This was my favorite Melania moment when she wore the T-shirt that said, "I don't really care. Do you? I do not care. I do not care. Do you care? I do not care." I forget the original.
Okay, she's holding the Bible. Oh, okay, they're putting out the flames of the Bible. And,
okay,
all right.
You can make me turn it on.
I'm kidding. I was kidding.
Oh. So that was also a great Trump moment when he held the Bible upside down and he had people get attacked by the police so he could clear out in front of that church.
Oh, he did find an angle to Melania's cheek there after the swearing in. He did. She tilted more for him.
Why is it indoors again? Because they couldn't get
it. Was supposed to be freezing outside, but it's not.
I never knew that they did because on Letterman he used to show Abraham Lincoln's speech with Johnny Dark edited in. I don't know if you remember that. I'm probably not describing it well.
How did he show Abraham Lincoln's speech?
No, it wasn't Abraham Lincoln's speech. It was like George W. Bush or something like that. And then Johnny Dark is able. I don't know, whatever the thing.
Right.
I've ruined it again. We had a good start.
It's never wrong to bring up Johnny Dark, in my opinion. Don't stay there, but bring him up once in a while.
So I forgot that this was happening. No, I didn't forget this was happening.
Really?
What's it called when is it irony that's Martin Luther King's Day, or is it just a kick in the teeth?
It's a sad irony, perhaps.
Yeah, sad. Oh my God! Wow. Do you think he walks around saying? No, he doesn't. Who cares what he walks around saying? He doesn't really think he's better than Lincoln. Of course, he thinks he's better than Lincoln. He does think he's the best president. He said that many times.
Yeah, but whether he actually thinks it or he just needs to say that
that's right
to counteract the deep self-hatred within, I don't know.
So,
we'll never know. We'll never know.
Do you think there's a deep? So somewhere within him, if there's someone saying you're fucking. You stink. Your father was right. Everybody was right. You're the worst.
Yes.
Like that, right?
Okay. If that voice wasn't there, then I don't understand humans at all.
He also knows he's willfully stupid too, and that bothers him.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. But I think, he must.
Except that he does think he knows. He
must have
words.
had enough times where he just didn't understand what people were saying to him, where deep down he's going, I must not be as smart as them.
Yeah, and then quickly turned to rage. He supposedly hung a friend outside the window upside down. There's so many different vignettes, Lincoln-like vignettes from his childhood.
That's like a small person's nightmare, the being hung out a window.
I just got scared myself, and I'm 68. I actually had a good gig this weekend.
Really?
It was called the Glendale
still happen?
Room. Yeah, because it's the Glendale Room. It's in Glendale, and it's in a small little, like, maybe 40 people can fit in there, and all the people
and did they?
And they did. They happened to do it. I promoted it a lot, but I don't even think it was me. But there's like 40 people, 30. And it's just like everybody is there for the comedy, and not for the comedy like that you'd have when I go to the Hollywood Room.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you should have those gigs all the time, but it is a pleasure.
Well, why not?
To have it.
I say if you can, have them.
That's right. That's true. So that felt good, and I felt proud of myself.
Yeah.
And also
for just going out, or because you did a good set?
Well, the doing a good set and feeling good about yourself when you're 68 still feels weird that I would, after a set in Hollywood of tourists or people who hate everything, that I would be depressed after that.
Yeah.
Each one's strange.
Yeah.
Although it's just natural if you have a good set to enjoy yourself for that time period.
I think so. And conversely, it's natural to be depressed after a dire, horrible thing, too.
I think that I'm on my way. I'm on my way back. And I have a good feeling about this year because I realized that I don't have agoraphobia so much as general fear of going out to places my whole life, really. So that's why I would rush to get late or leave too late or whatever. So now I feel like I actually felt to myself, you do have anxiety performing. That's all it is. You can say you don't have anxiety, but you do. And then I was able to go, oh, how can I take care of myself? So it just made me leave earlier instead of like going through notes to see if I could find a joke.
That's good.
So it just felt like, again, by the time I'm 70, the doctor says he thinks I should really be kind of well-adjusted.
Well, just to see...
Penis-wise.
Just to see self-sabotage float over to self-help. It's nice.
I already yelled at a couple of people online today, so I'm not cured.
Yeah.
Do you see Chappelle? I'm not going to spend a long time on this, but did you see Chappelle's set?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing.
All right.
He closed with a. Okay, did you want to say something?
No,
first?
Please go.
He closed with a compassionate thing about Palestinians and Jimmy Carter, which I agreed with and thought was nice.
Uh-huh.
But during the set, he does these two jokes. He does West Hollywood was able to get away from the wildfires because they're already flaming.
Yeah, how do you burn what's already flaming or something like that?
Yeah, that's a bad joke.
That's a hacky joke.
That's a hacky joke. And then the other one he did was...
And he was very satisfied with having said it, as if it was...
Yeah, or laughing at someone. He laughs at someone off the side, and I don't know if the person is there. Then the other thing he did was he does a whole elaborate thing about... He kind of sets you up like he's going to say something good, right? The Haitians, they came here for a reason. They were told to come here. And so I went down to make sure to show my presence there in Springfield. And I had a wonderful meal out of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, I'm not saying it was dog.
No, it wasn't that. He was saying, I don't know what kind of meat it was kind of his punchline.
Right. But that's again.
Yeah, but you know what? That one I got to give him because it was deflating his own grandiosity of going down there and doing this thing to me. I mean, to me that was he had made it clear enough at the front of
but it's still hacky.
It was less hacky than flaming.
Less hacky.
Yeah,
I'm
not saying it's a great joke, but I don't feel like it was a criminal offense in any way.
No, I think you're right. And then the other thing was, I like that it was the longest set in the, I like that he does these long sets. That's nice.
Well, that's the most he can bring to the show. So I agree.
Are you saying he seems to walk through the sketches?
Yeah, they literally have to build sketches where he smokes they have to build him smoking into the set.
Now, he comes out and smokes. Now, let's say it was Bill Hicks came out and smoked. Bill Hicks would mention that he was smoking.
Hicks would no longer be coming out smoking anymore.
Well, that's true. But if he did, it would be a bit. And let me tell you why I'm smoking.
Well, no, but it goes without saying. I'm smoking because I'm a dick.
It's like, so what can he say except, you like that, asthma lady?
Right.
Take a break, asthma lady.
Because what could have? It's not like he's saying I need it because I'm nervous.
Or he's like Jack Benny.
Yeah, I mean,
because of the violin.
I'm just saying the only message it can send is I'm a dick. And,
because think about it,
and everyone has to bend the rules for me because I'm a dick.
Right, and he's coming out. It's not like he's coming out into a huge theater.
No,
no, he's blowing smoke probably right in the faces of people sitting nearby.
Yes, and it's there all goddamn night.
He's such a douchebag in so many ways. He really is. And I used to, I think the problem is I used to love him maybe too much, or that's people too much.
That fits your MO, the black,
it
white.
It does fit my MO. But it's not like he was ever not nice to me, or he's always been nice to me.
He's someone who I believe you have to apply a nuanced opinion.
That's true.
Because he's very good at being a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
And he also believes things that I don't and says things I would never say.
Right.
So,
well, his anti-Semitism is really in the back. I think he is anti-Semitic.
I've seen enough to believe that as well.
Like when he did that thing, and then the other time goes, I have a new idea for a show. Space Jews. And he thought it was this was not last night, but some other time.
Yeah.
And he did the same thing where he's looking off the people on the side laughing. Yeah. What's funny about space Jews?
I don't know, but Mel Brooks did it 40 years ago. Jews in space.
Well, that's also hacky. It's like the hackiest thing. Like, how do we're going to use Dennis Leary until he's 170 years old. That we know. He's going to be on TV till he's 170 years old. But what is he going to be now? A disgruntled hospice worker? What's he going to be?
At least we know one bit that's going on the next album.
I already did that last night. I also did Tim Allen.
Dennis Leary chunk.
Yeah, he's like a out of control air traffic controller. He's a quick to temper hospice worker.
Is this because it's the last 80s comic you can make fun of?
No, because I got Tim Allen, too. Tim Allen's back, and I said that in his pilot. These jokes, I feel, are better than when I was doing Montreal, and I had to be nervous if people, and I feel more better as, like, Tim Allen on the pilot of his episode, his wife commits suicide while he watches Fox News. See, that's a nice little joke there. It's a fictional joke.
I'm glad that you finally boiled it down to something.
Yes. You're absolutely right, because so many times, so much of my life was based on getting on stage angry and thinking my anger itself is going to be. Yeah. Exactly.
No, absolutely. It fits with my whole punchlines, not funny notions.
What's that one?
That's my rule for going on stage rusty.
Tell me again.
Go on, have fucking punchlines. Don't just think that your funny notions are going to get you through.
Sir, you are exactly correct. This is what I did last night, and it's a breakthrough for someone who it shouldn't be a breakthrough through this age. I said to myself, not everyone's heard all this material that maybe was on Hints to Humor, or it goes, I'm just going to do jokes without apologizing that I haven't done it in 10 years.
Right.
Because the comments about having not done it in 10 years, they're never that funny as I think they're going to be.
Right, and not relevant, like you said.
Yeah, they're not relevant. People, like the first couple times I got up, I was like, "Oh God, am I rusty, folks?" I mean, you don't even know how rusty you are. And I'm expecting that to get a giggle. Why should they be giggling at my being unprepared? So I felt like it was that was a breakthrough. I felt like if I'm going to do a set, do fucking material, and don't think like you have to do new things. Just because it's
not if it's going to make it I think like you said, I mean, make it a good set so your new stuff has a chance.
Yes, I did that too. I did a couple of old bits first.
Yeah.
I'm not inviting you. You don't want to go to these things, though, right? These rooms? No.
I don't know. I'm teetering a little bit.
Okay, well, let me know.
I'm kind of thinking like maybe I'll do an Acme week just to have something on my calendar. I'm going to Acme in March for a book launch party for a guy who wrote a book about Acme and Lewis.
About who?
About Acme and Lewis.
Oh, what, do I know him? No, the guy who wrote it?
I don't know. Patrick Strait?
Is he a comic?
No.
Oh, okay. How do you know him? Why is this happening? Oh, because you know Lewis. Did you read the book?
I hate that. That's like my least favorite thing about you is when you become accusatory about me knowing someone you don't know.
You're just scratching the surface of what is abhorrent about me. But did you read the book?
The way you pronounce abhorrent sucks too.
Oh, that's bad too. Abhorrent. And let me tell you something. I never knew it was abhorrent.
Yeah.
So you just said that.
Okay, well, good.
But I could spell it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm good at spelling.
Would you have put the H in?
Yes, because I'm good at spelling sometimes. I'm terrible at spelling when Susan goes, how do you spell a name?
You know what screws you up, I hear, is the French. The French stuff screws you up when you're spelling a lot. Throws you off the rails, in fact.
Pasture.
I just had milk.
Pasture. Pasteur. Pasture. I'm a genius, folks.
How do you spell lifelong scar?
Sounds like Lou Costello.
I know.
Why is that? Now that is not a life. I claim that these things are lifelong. They're like that. The whole life.
Yeah.
Even though I put it behind me that I could have won that spelling bee. Because I was pretty good amongst those public school kids. I was one of the best.
You are the Trump of spelling bees.
I think the person who won spelled temperature. But I think when things that are embarrassing when you're a kid probably are the worst. I mean, when they're that embarrassing when you're a kid. Because Ken Pisani's my friend, who did who I worked with on the swimsuit special.
Yeah.
He says he remembers being there and watching me fumble.
Yeah.
How does he remember?
Probably because your meltdown afterwards was such a spectacle.
No, I think I don't know if I was crying, but I said to my teacher, my teacher actually did ask. I go, he just got back from a French class. That's what they did. Can he go again or something? What's the matter with me? Take the defeat. Take the defeat and walk off. I'm sorry your team lost.
I'm just saying you don't go to French class till like 7th grade.
No, not true. Au contraire. Sadly, we started French in 4th grade. Sadly.
I'm gonna have to.
You came after me.
I'm gonna have to do some Googling.
You came after me, but they made the teachers speak enough French to teach us enough. Where is the window? There is the window. Here is the door. Here is the door. And I think I've told you this story before. Someone said, do you have a mother? And my friend John Chapman said, no. Avez-vous zone, whatever it was. His mother had died, right? So the whole class is laughing hilariously like he doesn't understand French. And they say, do you have a mother? No, I do not have a mother. Everybody's laughing at him.
See, that's a much better scar than losing a spelling bee.
And I remember even looking at him and saying something. I remember saying something to him in the class as I was laughing.
Ha ha! You don't have a mother. Ha ha!
I think
you want mine.
No, I wouldn't do that because he beat me up a couple. No, he didn't beat me up. He did beat me up a couple.
At least his pain was justified.
Yes. He wasn't even that pained about it. He was just giving an answer.
How do you know he wasn't pained?
Oh, no, he probably was. If everyone's mocking you because your mother is dead, that's not a good feeling.
It's not a good one. That gets in. That gets in, I think.
How about the teacher joining in the laughter?
Not a good move on her part.
Shouldn't she know
not
he doesn't
good
have a
leadership. She should know that, yes.
She's only, and these are the days when your teacher was your teacher the whole year. in like third grade.
Yeah.
She had to know John Chapman, who was a wonderful man, he's not Mark David John Chapman. It's just regular
You would
John
think
Chapman.
John Chapman would be Mark David Chapman.
Did you ever, when someone, like, everyone feels this way. If it's Weinstein in trouble, you don't like that your name is Weinstein for a couple of weeks. Everybody has that. If someone named Andy Kindler shot up a temple, that would be a couple of weeks I'd be. Yeah,
but you would actually think it might be you.
That is so perfect because that's OCD. That's what the OCD person would think. He has the same name as me. They're going to come after me. But that could happen. See, that's the horrible thing about OCD. You actually worry about things that may happen in infinitesimal.
Right. That are technically possible.
That are technically possible. That's what makes it. That's what makes it a painful disease. Whereas, but
also the way it affects the people around you. That's the other part of the horror of it.
That's true. No, but it is instructive and helps you recover from OCD when you have it like I do, because you're able to realize, no, I didn't mail someone an envelope, or, it's like it was easy to think I did hit somebody.
Right.
But then when I was able to go through all the things, like what happens if this mail doesn't go if I put it in the post office and it gets lost, then I was able to say,
what if I put in ricin instead of a check?
Exactly. You could work at an OCD convention.
I was thinking of being a writer for OCD people.
Now, are OCD people easy to work with? I'm sure they're. I mean,
I do fear punch up.
Now, you don't have. Everyone's on a continuum of some kind of OCD, or most people are, but you're not on that one too much, right?
No, I can talk myself out of most stupid shit.
And you don't check your wallet 12 times, and
no, I count steps sometimes, like actual steps up and down. But yeah,
when they asked me about that, did you do things like she said to me, my therapist? Did you do things like rhythmically or something? She goes, "Do you mean did I divide up all language so I could end on the 4? Mostly, I try to develop everything in 4s. And that's definitely a sign of something. I used to think because I didn't step.
That's like iambic quadrometer.
And then also, I didn't walk. I didn't avoid cracks like Arlo Guthrie avoids. That's the worst ever. I'm trying to talk about a tennis player, and I called him Arlo Guthrie, and his name is Rafael Nadal. The way when he comes off the court, he never steps on the line, and he lines his drinks up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's OCD. That's clearly OCD. But I didn't have that, but I was counting every step. I go, well, I'm not. I can avoid the lines, but it was more like I can either avoid the cracks or step on the cracks. Either way, I'm conscious. You know what I mean? Like I stepped on that crack. I didn't step on that crack.
All right.
What a charming disease. The other thing that I didn't realize was that the medication for OCD wasn't as good many, many years ago. It was probably as good when I first had the problems. But antidepressants are excellent for OCD.
Yeah.
So that's probably, and my niece is on antidepressants, same kind of thing that I'm on, high dose. And it helps OCD.
I'm sure she was glad you're talking about it.
Terrible story. Terrible
sure
story.
She's thrilled you're discussing it.
Yeah, but Emily, what does Emily have
good.
to do?
Now her name's involved. Now it used to be your niece. Now it's Emily.
I always thought that was the point of this podcast, was to throw family members under the bus.
Right. We were going to call it Out Week.
You know what? This is OCD, though. OCD is being worried that Emily will listen to the show. Nobody's listening to the show.
That was
my
me
family.
being the OCD punch-up guy there.
I don't think there's even one person in my family goes, he does a show every week? Maybe I should. No.
Yeah, mine
Not
either.
one person.
My brother maybe occasionally has a twinge of guilt just because he's wired that way, but not enough to put him back on the pod.
Well, let's see if this works. Shout out to Jake Hogan. Shout out to Jake Hogan.
Luckily, all my friends who don't listen anymore blame you.
Isn't that why they stopped listening?
Yeah.
I can't take it. Is everything about him? So don't you, after an hour of not being able to get a word in edgewise, don't you want to shoot him? Or give him a thumbs down on the FaceTime? You can't do it. Can't do it.
You can't prompt it. You can't prompt it.
Is that because I don't have it installed correctly?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Well, today is the first day of you know what? Let's look forward now. Like Dave Chappelle said, look, we wish him luck again.
Sure.
Have you come more to terms with not keeping yourself out of the loop of everything? Because you have to know about what's going on.
I don't know. I mean,
I have none. Watch news. I have watched no news.
Yeah, no, I still watch news, and more. I more read news than watch it.
Yeah, that's good because I have the New York Times online, so I could do that.
Yeah.
So that would be better than watching. But I don't have any desire. I hope you're not watching MSLSD, as the right wing calls it.
I can't. It's hard to watch that right now. I feel the same sort of backlash against them that a lot of people do. That just sort of, I don't know what it is, but it's like I can't just take 24-hour Indignance channel anymore.
No, and I think the thing is, it's natural. Here's what I believe. I mean, there's a lot of people on MSNBC who are just horrible, like Andrea Mitchell, who should not be on any news channel.
She's about to be done, I think.
Oh, you think so?
No, I know so. She announced it.
Thank God. Is she sick?
I don't know. Not all your wishes are going to come true.
It sounds terrible, they say. So, but what's going to happen is I'm going to get interested in it when there's something to be interested in, and I'm not. You have something on your nose.
I was just trying to get it off my nose.
So it's. I will listen when I'm over the pain of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're bad because I don't want to listen to them now. I mean, although they nailed Ari pretty good on Saturday Night Live.
Just because he kept doing rap quotes?
Yes.
That's kind of the easiest way to get him, but yeah.
It's the easiest way, but maybe laugh some. I love Sarah Sherman's a very funny woman, and just generally, and so I liked her Rachel Maddow, even though it was all over the map. Yeah. Nobody does impressions really on that show anymore. That's like, except for the Trump and.
Right.
But most of the time when they do politicians, who knows how they sound like anyway.
It's just a makeup job. Yeah.
Yeah. Tip O'Neill. It's Tip O'Neill coming into the sketch. That was my most recent.
What's nice is that when it's Saturday Night Live, it's time appropriate because the show's been on for 50 years.
Take out the thing about something being on your nose. I feel bad about that.
I already did. Now I have to take it out twice. Thank you.
No, don't take out the reference to it. Am I making it harder? That was what I did for the first year. Is this making it more difficult to have a podcast? Josh, have you ever noticed when you're scratchy?
No, please stop. I was going to take it out, and you are making it harder.
No, that's not. Okay, we're done. So, don't make me say what else is in the news. I'm sorry your team lost last night. Your team.
My team.
The Rams.
The Rams.
I rooted against the Rams. I don't care who these people are. I don't see the Rams as my team just because I live in Los Angeles. Although
even the Rams didn't see Los Angeles as their place.
Right. Well, how do you mean by that?
They went to St. Louis for 2 decades.
Oh, that's true. Well, that was a bad mistake. You can't go to St. Louis. I wouldn't. If you went to St. Louis for a week, I wouldn't talk to you when you got back. Funny stuff.
Tell me about it.
But see, what I avoided this time was going right into the sports material. I waited, 4 minutes? I am thrilled about the matchups. The Bills against the Chiefs. I'm rooting for the Bills, although I love the Chiefs too. Although I never noticed that Mahomes does a lot of Vladi-Divac type flopping.
Yeah.
Like he did one last night.
I like to think of them as wily veteran moves.
Yes, it probably is. But if he's doing something like every once in a while, he'll fake going out of bounds and then try and run more.
Yeah, just to make it look like he got hit late.
What he does is he slows down. Yeah. And then the guy pushes him, and it looks like he's like, he goes 100 feet.
No, I agree.
But I like him, though.
There's one way of looking at it that would call that a pussy move.
Killed. And yet, right. But here's the thing. It's, again, Andy one way. Andy one way. I love Patrick Mahomes. I don't like that he did that, that he's floppy. Do you don't think there's things in my life where I'm flopping? Like, I'm sure there's things in my life that I pretend, oh my God, you stepped on my foot. I don't know. I can't think of it.
It seems like every time you go for a walk, you do a flop. You do a flop.
I know. Boy, have I been.
How has your balance been lately?
It's been very, very good because of my pretty much new rule, which is look at your feet, Andy, before you move. Look at your feet. Where are they? That usually stops it.
All right. That's good.
It's like I have not. Okay, but I haven't walked since the thing that much because of the air quality.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm doing much better. But that doesn't mean that I'm still gonna. It's when 2 or 3 things happen, like a jet pilot. I have to look to the left, eat a sandwich, and listen to a podcast. That's when it goes crazy. Like when I have to do Sully Sullenberg type moves. Like
climb a curb. Okay. I'm in the crosswalk. Oh, it's a bird strike.
Well, every time I go by that crosswalk, I get a little shiver. And then I'm thinking, when you were, I guess when you were a little kid, you just did fall down and got up because you were light and didn't hurt yourself because you were light. Right? Unless you hit something sharp.
Yeah, you're light. You're light and you're soft when you're young. But I haven't re-gone to therapy though. I just don't think I need it, but maybe I should. I'm talking about for physical therapy.
Yeah, I went through the run of it, and it's like I don't want to drive to Tarzana and step on the thing. Well, then I'm going to fall again.
It's up to you. It's up to you, Weeble.
What is this? Camel. Oh, I saw a show that I really did like. I mean, I'm probably the last person to see this show. It's like
I Love Lucy.
American Justice, and the first year is with the guy who smokes. No, what is his name?
Dennis Leary.
All right. That guy.
Matthew McConaughey.
Right. And he's with Woody Harrelson.
Oh, you're talking about the thing on HBO, which is now Jodie Foster and someone else.
Yes. Yeah. And I only watched it because I saw Jodie Foster was on. I got to see it. And the show is amazing. It's really, the first year of it is great.
First year was good. I kind of lost it in the second year.
Second year, I'm already getting
Never
bored.
really went back.
Oh, you never went back?
No.
But I was going to ask you a question, having seen the first year. I think he's not smoking stage cigarettes, right? He's not smoking. It doesn't look like he's smoking stage cigarettes. And
how are you determining that?
I don't know, but I'm probably wrong. But he takes one of the things his character would take a big drag.
Yeah.
Like go. I was just wondering if it was real or not, and I was wondering if he smoked.
Well, there are stage cigarettes that still burn. They just aren't tobacco. And you can,
you can go like this with them.
But my guess is that if he's that adept at smoking, that he's probably using real cigarettes and everyone's fine with it. You know?
I think that it's a thing that smokers, even if he's quit smoking, they do to have fun because it's official. It's part of my job.
Yeah,
get out of my way.
Sure.
It's just like when Jim Carrey was. I'm Andy Kaufman. No, Jim, I have to tell you something important about tonight's. I don't know who you're talking to. I am Andy Kaufman. Jim, you have to be on the set. So could you tell me, Andy, you have to be in the set in 10 minutes? Andy, you have to be. I will be there.
It must have been, you could tell James Mangold was really happy to be able to use cigarettes in his Bob Dylan movie because they were just all over the place.
I think that happens 75% of the time. Who did he play?
He played the director of the movie.
I don't understand. He is the director, or he was the director?
He is the director of the movie. He made the Bob
so why
Dylan.
would, of course.
He was very happy to have cigarettes in his movie.
Oh, I got you. Because he's a smoker.
No, because he's a director, and cigarettes create this atmosphere throughout.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying.
There's like tons of cigarette featuring in the movie.
Right. Well, Chappelle did too. Chappelle bravely went through that too. He said,
That's
"I don't
how I
care."
was at 18. There's so many pictures of me with a fucking cigarette when I was a teenager, just to go, look, I'm a man.
Well, Bill Hicks actually had a very funny thing when he first moved to New York, and he was like, "Oh, this is offensive to you," and then he would describe what's all around him in New York.
Right.
Oh, this is bothering you? I can't think of the examples.
It is generally legal to smoke on stage if it's part of a performance.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So
It probably still is legal, right?
in some places, I'm sure it's not in others.
Well, don't find out the Lung Association. They're like ASCAP and BMI. Don't mess with them.
That's right.
Yeah, they find out. I would, if I could smoke bubblegum cigarettes. Those were the greatest because those actually.
You can.
Yeah, but then people won't think it's a cigarette. But you would blow it in actual candy smoke. What a wonderful thing for kids.
Yes, it's a training device.
There was also chocolate cigarettes too, I believe.
We've talked about this. Yeah, I believe there was, but they aren't fun. It's not like you can handle them that long.
Get Camel unfiltered chocolate. All right. I'm sorry. When you're a genius like I am and everything is great, every once in a while it's a clunker.
Sure.
Every once in a while. I can't keep this pace up. Now,
you're losing your voice.
Oh. It's not a lull. I don't want you to think it's a lull, but I'm trying to do something where when there's nothing going on, I just stop.
Yeah, that's okay. That's nice.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing for an editor, that's for sure.
Really? Is that the sound?
No.
Oh, it's not.
If only it was that deliberate.
Oh, so what does it sound? Does it sound like that, though?
No. Kind of. It's more like a towel snap.
I've done that. People did that to me as a little kid, as a little man. You got that kind of thing. That's not fun. That's not like, oh, that's hilarious, like short shooting a bed. It's like torturing somebody. With a rat tail. We used to call them rat tails.
Yeah, sure.
Boom.
Sure.
I guess I wasn't above it then.
No.
You can't do these things when you're a short guy your whole life.
Well, I had an older brother to bully me. See, that's the one.
That's so unbelievable to me. That he did bully.
Totally.
But of course, and I'm the last person to realize that's part of growing up. I'm the last one to realize that. Why couldn't I be there more for my sister?
You didn't get bullied because you were small, and everyone felt like a dick bullying you. But me, I was hefty. I was chunky. I was an easy target. That's the noise.
Cannot say that I didn't contribute to things where someone was, like I don't have a mother, and you're laughing. So I like to think of myself as having none of that cruelty as a kid.
Yeah.
But it's bullshit. It stopped me from fireworks when I set the firework off and an old man looked like he was going to cry. And then about a couple of months after that, I stopped. So it did somehow get into my conscience.
Yeah.
But I was obsessed with them. Black cats.
Uh-huh.
I had I don't know what it was. I thought they were it's like they smelled like gold to me as a young man, as a young kiddo.
Yeah.
Cigarettes too. It's like, oh, this is going to be the greatest. Did you like firecrackers? You did at one point.
Yeah, my dad was totally into firecrackers. So I didn't love them. I never had. My brother had sort of more of a fascination than me too, but I didn't. I was more of like take a roll of caps and smash them with a hammer.
Right.
I like the cause and effect thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The predictability. And there wasn't always predictable because sometimes you do too many caps at once and your ears would ring for 6 hours.
But your mother never got annoyed at you with the cap pistols, right? It was probably fun for her, right?
My mother got infuriated at squirt guns.
That's
in
my
the
favorite
house.
Story.
Squirt guns in
That's
the house.
That's my favorite story. Yeah. She threw them out, did she? Or what did she do?
No, my brother squirted me with his plastic submachine gun My mom was on the phone. We've been warned there was no squirt guns in the house, frequently at that point. And my mother on the phone, without stopping her conversation, just holds out her hand to my brother. And he puts...
Like this?
No, like open.
And take.
And he gives her the squirt gun, and she walks out on the back step while still on the phone, the kitchen phone with the long cord, and stomps on it while she's talking, and comes back in the house.
Now, that's not traumatic, really.
No, it was more comedic than dramatic, but and I'm sure she felt fucking great.
How did was your brother like shocked? Or
I think we were both we didn't laugh, but we were kind of in awe of it all, I think. Because my mom did not follow through on very many threats.
I just remember that my brother and I played tackle football in the living room.
Jesus.
That's nothing, right?
Yeah, you're saying that like it's a miracle occurred.
But that's why I don't think I could be a parent, because I couldn't deal with any of that stuff.
Well,
I would deal with it.
Also, my mother worked.
Right.
So we had several hours.
Well, you had the free run
to just beat the living fuck out of me. I could beat the shit out of me.
That sounds terrible.
It wasn't constant. It wasn't constant roughhousing or physical violence, but it wasn't. It was certainly part of the spectrum. And there were times where he was pleasant to me, but he just had a very short fuse with me because he really deep down resented my very existence.
Did he ever, as an adult, did he apologize?
Oh God, yeah, profusely for years on end.
Well, that's pretty cool.
No, my brother has a guilt mechanism that does all the work for me.
I kept thinking about your brother hunting this weekend, because I kept feeling that...
You were thinking about it this weekend. He wasn't actually hunting this weekend. But.
Right, but I was thinking about, again, what people want to hear is more about me with my OCD, but I realized there are certain things that might never go away. So it might never go away when I'm eating some delicious meat. Should I be eating this meat? Should I be eating this meat? Because it constantly comes up. And so when it comes up, but I'm not eating the meat.
Right. You're just choosing to feel guilty each time a little bit.
A little bit. And
I think maybe that's okay.
Yeah, that's true. As opposed to Bungalow Bill. That song was written about some guy that they were at a party with who had a gun.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's easy to make fun of hunters greedily trying to kill everything, but it still doesn't resolve the fact that I'm eating meat completely. Except for humane. I want a chicken who says, "I'm exhausted. I'm going to lie down here."
Right. Well, a good hunter is killing humanely as a slaughterhouse, basically.
Oh, okay.
That's a good hunter is putting down their animal with one shot in the right spot, Right.
I don't know what's the matter. I don't know.
I'm okay with living with the dichotomy of it all. I both happily eat meat and think hunting is too gross for me.
Right.
So I've adjusted to the industrial food chain at this point. But I don't judge hunters simply because they're killing something.
Oh no,
I judge trophy hunters.
Oh, Trump! You mean like the Trump kids?
Yeah.
When they go on safari and
absolutely,
kill yeah. No.
But someone who kills a duck or a goose or a deer and eats it and butchers it, and doesn't just waste the life,
Yeah. I'm more bothered by the factory thing of chickens and a thing. That's what bothers me more. Hunting seems more obviously more natural, especially since animals are predators. There are not any animals who go, you know what? I can't do this. I'm not going to eat this meat anymore. I mean, that's not how the panda bears decided to not.
No, but at some point, those become the lines between what animals do and what we do. Those are very arbitrary places to draw.
That's very true.
For your own personal use,
That's why they.
Why are you shitting in the yard?
I saw. I was thinking about that with birds last night. There's like birds. They're shitting on the tennis court. It's like, come on. Can't they? Why wouldn't they go past it? So birds just go while they're flying. They just don't care, right? It happens. Do they at least stop? I've had a nice meal. I'm stopping.
I think it goes bird to bird.
Okay, so here's the thing. The thing is, the reason why we get confused like this is because...
Wait. Now I'm confused about why we're confused.
No. The reason why I anthropomorphize too much and people anthropomorphize too much does not stop me from going, why do they... I still don't understand why they're migrating. I don't know. How can they fly in a circle and not touch each other? Now, they know how this is done scientifically now, kind of, or are they just guessing?
I don't know.
Have you seen them? They go, woo, woo, and they go, wow, wow. They have a reason for that. They also, why the migration? I would say, why are you rushing? Where are you rushing to? But they're migrating because it's part of their instinct.
If that's a satisfactory answer, then yes, it's their instinct.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing. The way that you, quote, anthropomorphize your pets, you don't. You actually are humanizing their actual behavior that you're seeing. You're
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm certainly relating. I am certainly analogizing their emotions to human emotions.
Right.
I have enough relationship and observation time with both of them that I'm often right because of their response to my response,
right.
because I am, because I seem to be fulfilling the wish that they were expressing or
right.
whatever. But I'm hesitant to, I believe dogs have emotions, but I'm hesitant to lay any kind of second step.
Right,
right. Like, oh, he's upset because he remembers blank, or he,
Except for the things when he wakes up in the middle of the night. Right?
No, I mean, I think that's just, he has like this place between sleep and wake that makes him fucking dangerous.
Oh, I always thought that may have been mistreating, but maybe it wasn't. He wasn't mistreated, the animal, right?
He was. He was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not entirely. He wasn't fully neglected, but he was living with a woman with Alzheimer's who was apparently swatting.
Oh. Was what?
Swatting and kicking,
well,
and,
Well, this is the thing about Alzheimer's that and other people don't know, but most people know that some people, you can get very angry when some people react to it by getting more angry or at times angry.
Well, and honestly, the way that he is when he gets into his thing, I mean, all Chihuahuas are fucking psychos of some percentage, it seems like. I mean, this is my first one, but based on what I see and talk to people about, there's just going to be a certain percentage of psycho in them. And he's down, at this point, he's down to like under 5% psycho, which is fantastic.
Name me some of the behavior that they do.
I mean, it's all over the place. Just like fucking enter crazy Chihuahua.
It sounds too.
No,
right?
it's
Barky.
Actions, it's sounds, I mean, I don't know how to, it's not like I'm going to act like a Chihuahua for you, so.
Poodles get a bad rap, and I think poodles are nice, but they get when they're dressed up. They didn't ask to be dressed up like that. That's not what they wanted.
I don't know. They like attention. It seems like.
I saw a dog the other day.
Poodles are very smart. Poodles are among the smartest dogs.
I have heard that, and the other way, the other thing I got not nervous, but I saw a woman who was walking a dog larger than herself, larger than me even, or as big as me.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, that's got to be a whole different situation when you have a pet who's a person size living with you.
It makes training much more important.
Training and having don't you want an outside area with a huge dog?
People say...
Depends.
Yeah, I mean, people have different minds of that. Like, I know someone who had Great Danes in an apartment, which worked out just because he was a very sedentary kind of dog.
That was
Whereas
the dog
little dogs,
next.
tend to be more hyper and have more energy to burn off.
So that's the dog that lived next to me that I never remember the name. It was a Great Dane. It was a big dog, but it was very friendly.
Yeah.
And do they tend to be friendly?
I mean, in my experience, giant breeds like that tend to be friendly because why would you fucking keep breeding a giant mean thing, you know?
The ones I get worried about is when people, I told you that one, where they had a thing like they were asking veterinarians and people who work with dogs what they wouldn't want as a dog, and they talked about those, I think it's pugs that have difficulty, they're bred that way to, I don't know, why would they be bred to not be able to breathe well? It would be like they were going for
people
the look.
Like that short nose look, yeah.
Yeah. So I felt bad about them like their whole life. But they don't go, oh my God, the breathing thing again. That's where it's good that they don't like people.
Yeah,
Oh
I don't think dogs wake up with dread or, you know, sit there doing a woe inventory. That's kind of why you like having them around.
Right. I should do a study, though, at one point about why my mind continues to go like a 4-year-old. It's a 4-year-old. Why? Why?
Well, on the bright side, have you ever seen a 4-year-old with Alzheimer's?
For people like me, they were wonderful to say that by 2060, which I don't think I'll make, right? No.
You might.
104.
You know.
It'll be doubled. There'll be double the amount of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, well, that makes sense considering the amount of old people.
That's true. And also, it used to be completely undiagnosed, right? Senility. They just thought that people were getting old. That their veins were, their arteries were hardening or something.
Well, at some point, yes.
I have senile purpura.
I know. I've seen that on you.
Not too bad, though, right? Huh? Not so bad now.
No, it's much more scabby than open woundy. It's nice.
I'm so glad we're not on YouTube.
Oh, didn't I tell you?
Well, you signed the deal?
I did.
Because you get paid every...
Now it's MeTube.
Why did I laugh at that? I must be tired.
Why did I even say it?
I want to tell you, this is peak sober for me. I don't know if you can tell the difference between Monday morning and Friday morning.
I absolutely tell the difference.
It's peak sober.
We've talked about this, and you get mad at me saying that you're...
How can you say that I smoke?
No. You said I smoked right before the show.
No, I'm just saying you're high.
But you are proving to me that pot smoking may be cumulative in a way.
Might be. I like day 3 of the sober. Yeah, I do.
3.5. That's right, day 3. 3.5 days on.
And do you feel clearer on those days?
I am absolutely able to accomplish more. No question about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to accomplish things, and I have avoidance thing, and pot's a great way to avoid. And then you get tired.
It is? Oh, fuck. I've made an error in strategy.
It's made me clearly see the ups and downs of pot smoking.
Yeah.
But it hasn't made me not look forward to the 3.5 days on.
The ups are apparently worth it, yeah.
Yeah. Or I'm addicted in a strange way and won't admit it. I am addicted. It's a habit.
Sure.
All right? Pot is absolutely relieved OCD for me my whole life.
Yeah.
It took it. The first time I got high, it was like, it's a wonderful universe all of a sudden. So it does work. It's just as you smoke more pot, it doesn't work as well if you smoke too much. You don't even get that high.
And you're trying to ride the line.
None of the analogies of other addictions quite fit with pot.
They don't.
Jones
really.
And
that's why some people find that whole California sober thing to be like an acceptable thing.
Oh, right. They're saying, yeah, California sober. Well, it's definitely better. I mean, they are finding more and more. I don't know if it's true or not. They're finding that all the things that used to be said were positive about wine. It was more like propaganda. Yes, if you resveratrol or whatever that thing is, you'd have to eat so much of that stuff to make it. So they used to think, if they used to maybe propagandize or maybe even medically say a couple of drinks a night is good for you. Now they're saying that it's not good for you. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy. It's all bad for you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you. But it's good for you as a release. That's what it's good for. If you need the release.
Well, these studies don't take mitigating factors like what's the long term damage to someone who never relaxes.
True.
Or versus them being able to relax with a glass of wine or two. So it's.
They have proven that people live longer. I know you knew this already. If they have pets.
Yeah.
If they have a pet, they live. They have a much happier life, especially people who are alone.
Sure.
Not you. You have somebody.
Thank you.
Your wife.
Thank you. I wasn't taking it personally.
That was like an offhanded, weird remark.
All I know is I have pets and I'm not dead yet, so it's working.
No, but you wouldn't have ever said to yourself, "I'm doing this because it makes me happier." But it is. You are.
Well, no, that is the primary thing I would say is I'm doing this because it makes me happier.
I don't know why I have those dogs.
I don't know what number 2 would be.
Come here, Smoopy. Come here, Smoopy. I have no idea why I have the pets. I just
hate these fuckers.
What would you call my Captain Obvious or Mr. It's like discovering that the Beatles was named after the beat and then telling somebody else.
Right.
It's bad enough to come to it late.
I don't know if it's so much of a name you can give you, so much as a noise. Just. Yeah, we're taking a break. Yeah, we ended the call. But we'll be back in no time at all. Yeah, we're taking a breath. But don't go away. 'Cause we got one more hour for the end of the day. So don't go away. Don't go away. Don't go away. Don't go away. Please stay. Don't go away. Don't go away. Don't go away.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 you
Yes, I do. Sorry. I was having a coughing fit. You know what a coughing fit is? I get so mad.
Where you go to your tailor to make sure it's properly.
I think that's a good joke at 9:00 after in my third day of not sobriety. You know what I'm saying? That's like I wake up. It seems silly to me. What a silly thing you just said. I've smoked nothing. I've smoked. You shut up. I already have these voices in my mind. I don't even need you.
Yeah. I'm sure you had your wake up tincture and your toothbrushing gummy, I'm sure.
My toothbrushing gummy. Each milliliter of toothpaste contains 8 milligrams of THC. Oh, well, hello to you, sir.
Hi.
Welcome to the same boss, same as the old boss or something like that, right? Here comes what am I, drunk? Pick it up.
You tell me.
Okay.
Because when I assume, you get all mad at me.
Well, I still do, what is it called with champagne in the morning? A mimosa. I still do a mimosa every morning. That's not wrong. That's good for you.
No, I would have thought you would have switched to the espresso martini by now.
I always get, whenever I have, his day, he likes to make sounds with his lips. It's very popular. Beep, 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 beep. Andy's horrible mouth. I always want to.
It's like co-hosting a show with Billy Bass.
Who's Billy Bass?
That talking bass.
Well, I know Billy Bass more through The Sopranos than I know him through the actual Billy Bass. Because it was like a theme on The Sopranos where sleep with the fishes and they were all laughing and then he gets into a horrible nightmare that Tony has. I'm not going to reveal everything. Look, spoiler alert, he's the head of a mafia family. Spoiler alert. Well, here's what I decided. I know what I wanted to talk about.
It's today's revelation. It's a Kindler epiphany.
I know we had one last week. It sounds like people calling a dear thought spiral. I knew the word beat when I was 5 years old. Beat on the drum. So I knew it. I think it predates the Beatles. Okay, so, oh, shoot, what was I going to say? Okay, so here's the thing.
All right.
I emailed you or texted you, however I normally commentate. I'm like Norm Crosby, I'm not trying. How I usually commentate with you through text. And I asked you about deactivating Twitter. And I was ready to deactivate it right then because it was like, there was the article was, that bishop kind of scolded Trump, the bishop in the church. You saw that?
Didn't scold so much as plead for mercy for.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't have to sell me on her. Okay, I love her.
But scold is the key word when it comes to narcissists. What did I tell you every fucking time?
So, that's exactly right. So he decided that. So anyway, Trump wants to deport her, and then so this one writer I like, and this is after I made the decision not to retweet anything on Twitter, but I liked it. He said, let me get this straight. This woman, he didn't say that. Let me get this straight. This woman lives, born in New Jersey, who's a citizen of New Jersey. You want to deport her for having a First Amendment right to talk about what she wanted to talk about during her church service. And then people are lined up below. You're goddamn right. She shouldn't be able to say anything that's not specifically in the Bible. All right. So by the time, hold on a second. I have a problem.
A time saver. Thank you.
So then when Susan wakes up, I asked her, I asked you, I said, should I deactivate? And you said, hell yes, get rid of that piece of crap, rusty old pipe.
You said, is there any reason for me not to? And
no. You said no.
I searched my soul for.
Yeah, you for a nanosecond, if that's true. So, but here's what happened. And again, learning more about Andy Kindler, I think it's 2 weeks now. We've learned a lot about me. The reason why I wanted to deactivate it was in a response to an internalized reply I had on Instagram that I internalized as some kind of truth. So here was the thing. I was on Instagram showing something on Twitter. They're like, how can you even still be on Twitter?
Yeah.
You are not quite like that, but what are you, a monster?
App shaming. It's all the rage right now.
So I decided myself, and Susan pointed out, she goes, you don't have to deactivate it. Why don't you just stop? This is what I decided. I'm never going to post there, although I retweeted something. I'm not going to post there.
That's a post.
That's a post, right? Yes. But it's like other people's Twitter accounts. You go there and you go, this guy hasn't been here in 3 years. Yeah. Why do I have to go off on his goddamn terms? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, right? You dig me?
I do. I mean, there's the only argument, and I haven't
make an argument. I can take it down.
I've done just what you're speaking of. I've just left my account and
right. Yeah. And you're ready to deactivate?
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's if I had true conviction about any of this shit, yeah, I would deactivate. But it makes my life slightly less convenient if I want to go look and see the trending topics and and try
Well,
to
Susan pointed
chase
out-
down a news item. But
Susan
the
pointed out
argument
that-
for deactivating is that's one less user he can claim. You know,
That's true. That's true. But it's hurting me. I haven't paid him one penny, and next to my name it says "Get verified." Get verified.
but what you shouldn't do is feel guilty one way or the other because it's just a
That's
fucking
exactly
app. It's just a fucking app. You know, we're all in the same boat. We're all just trying to communicate with whoever, and you know what? There's not a lot of choices for shithead free social media.
Wait a second. No, even the no matter where you go, it's going to be. But you're going to have the same people who are just their algorithm. They may actually be an algorithm of annoyance. They don't even care what it is.
Why would you?
What? That's
Huh?
funny.
No, it's not.
It is funny.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's truly not. Let me just be clear here.
Hold on, let me
this
look it
isn't
up.
banter.
So, I had something to say and I lost it. Bing.
But I mean,
So,
Blue Sky right now is the only one with sort of
Yes.
clean
I'm bringing
hands. Clean hands in terms of billionaires. But
And we know how to. Well, no, isn't it the same guy who wasn't it the guy who you saw on Twitter?
yeah, but he's gone. He left.
It truly is, and I hope they pay people over there and everything.
But it's still it's still social media. I mean, there's no way around that. It's
Yes.
not.
Well,
it's not a love of humanity booster.
it's just odd though because I dealt with it again with my therapist. You can say, how many times do you have to deal with your therapist with stuff? We have to talk about something normally. She's
Mister,
doing.
I've never paid to be on Twitter.
Normally, what would be funny? Normally during the session, she's doing Sudoku.
Mm-hmm.
Sudoku.
I think Wordle is kind of funnier these days.
So, what I decided was that I really took it to my heart. The fact that I couldn't remember what this anonymous person said, I really was still. Here's the argument: I don't have a right from childhood. I don't have a right to the wrong opinion. I don't have the right to the wrong opinion. And that's what I used to argue with myself all through high school. How could you support Humphrey in my head? How could you support Humphrey? Everybody hates you, So what I believe now that I've actually taken back to myself is I'm allowed to have my own opinion and it makes me a good person. I'm still a good person. Now, what I don't need to do is I don't need to hold on to every opinion. Because that is what does cause you, this letting go book, points out, you hold on to
Except for the
opinion.
Humphrey one. Please hold on to that one.
You said something a couple weeks ago about you couldn't have possibly known what you were talking about. You're angry at yourself I'm angry at myself in essence for being 12.
You're a 12-year-old with an insufficiently sophisticated understanding of politics.
I also think that was hurt by people like friends of mine who were more advanced than me. And I was like, how come I can't be smart like them?
By the way, there's nothing wrong with Hubert Humphrey. Nothing in the world wrong with Hubert
No,
Humphrey.
he's from Minnesota. He's like, it would have, believe me, folks, he would have been great. He would have been great. But the decision was made by North Vietnamese. He said, it's not Reagan, but it could have been. And Nixon was, you guys keep fighting. If you guys keep fighting, I'll give you what would he give them in return? Less. I'll bomb less in Cambodia.
I'll give you Greenland.
So,
but yes, I mean, it's very clear as a bystander to your life now that there's a whole lot of emotion wrapped up in opinions for you. There is a whole lot of tripwires there. And you could see it clearly. Sure.
Why am I getting so upset? If I really understand this physics where space and time, if I understood what this book is, why would I care that you don't? It's like you or me going. I'm looking at you and I'm seeing me. You're not explaining it, stupid. Yeah, explaining. It's not. You have nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter. You have to have a perfect opinion. I have to be able. And so that's the thing. It's like I would say what was really going on maybe a couple of years ago even was like, I think this is a great insight. Josh is a really smart guy. If he believes like this, I'll believe more in God. If he believes,
no, I know you're like a senator looking for co-sponsors.
That's just that's not where you want to be in the God sphere.
Mm-mm.
You don't want to be. That's not me. So,
well,
I feel
especially since you don't. I mean, you don't have a religion, so to speak. It's so no matter what, your concept of God is going to be a customized thing for
exactly.
you.
Yes. Definitely. And it's going to be, I hope it to be Ricky Gervais proof. In other words, I don't want it to be a sky rocket. I have to avoid all of those images.
Well, no, you don't, because you don't need to share any of this with anybody.
I know that. I wonder if sharing it and arguing with Ricky Gervais is a stand-in for arguing with my father.
Yes.
And somehow, yes. I wonder if that is.
You think?
Yeah. So anyway, now you may say to me, okay, let's move on, which I'm totally willing to do. But I'm just saying, like, my image is that I've come to a bigger realization. So if I'm going to be arguing, I argue with anyone at my own peril. If I think it's funny to put someone down who's yelling at me on Blue Sky, I argue with them at my own peril because really there's nothing to be accomplished to it. Right? And so I hope that I raise my right hand and say, I, Andy Kindler, will conduct myself more lovingly with, maybe I don't agree with Mr. Trump's policies. I could be one of those guys.
Yeah. You could. I don't think you could for very long, but you could.
Well, this podcast, I listen to podcasts like about cults and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're talking about cults and, and then the person is talking about how cults, they form and it's like my team and your team, but it's not too far from them. Not the people who host the show, but the person who's coming on the show. It's not that hard to say it with the Republicans and Democrats too, because they do say it. They go, yeah, people say the Republicans, I'm on the Republic, but that's both sidism now. If they go, oh yeah, the one side says he's Hitler and the other side says he's not Hitler.
All right.
I know I'm not explaining myself. Just take me out and shoot me in the backfield.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this in terms of just, the unreasonableness at both edges makes the conversation toxic from the beginning.
But now I have to forgive Dave Anthony.
No, you don't. You just need to stop thinking about him.
That's true. You said that to me. Really was like it warmed my heart the other week. I'll tell you that. I was like, if I have cockles in my heart, it warmed it when you said. I said, I know I have to be nice to Adam Sandler in my head before. He says, you said, no, I'm a friend of yours here. I'm talking as a friend of yours. I don't want this to poison your life. Yeah, exactly. Whatever it was, I just knew that it was like, oh my God, I have permission to be me. Hey, I retweeted the questions this week.
Will you stop with the tweeting? What are you doing on that site?
No, Blue Sky. I Blue Sky.
I was kidding.
You fooled me for a second. Yeah, I can be fooled just by the act of scolding.
Yes.
I'm assuming I did something. Oh.
Well, thank you for that participatory move. Retweeting my tweet. I appreciate it.
Yes, and also I'm going to Blue Sky.
I'm not tweeting anymore, I'm not posting for questions even on Twitter anymore.
Oh, that's great. I think that's really, really good. Well, how are you going to get Zeke Fosse's?
He'll be here. He'll be on Instagram. I assure you.
Blue Sky is, I think of the song Blue Skies. I'm an obnoxious person, nothing but obnoxious. Am I? Do you know what Bruce Smith pointed out to me?
Bruce Smith smiling at me. Sorry.
I hated that he pointed it out to me. And of course, I talked to you about this also, about not apologizing for my material. There's this image
that you need. Let's take a moment on because
I should apologize if it's bad. If it is bad, right?
Yeah.
But I was under the impression everyone's heard my material about Dateline or whatever. If it's not, hence the humor was recorded in 2012 or whatever. So I have all of these jokes.
Earlier than that, even, wasn't it?
Well, no, you're thinking of the other one that you helped produce.
Right.
And between that, whatever it is, between the time and now, I've only done Canadian TV. What am I worried about? I can't. So in other words, stop saying I used to say this before the band. Just say it now and see if you can still get a laugh.
All right.
Fuck face.
Yeah, the self-referential thing, like they're your people, is not.
I know that you. Yes, I know you're concerned. Will I do material from? Hence the humor.
All right.
I know, but I'm telling you, I will not.
You're much better acting like you're an unknown who's good.
That's true.
That an old bro who's rusty.
That's my wheelhouse. I know I'm not very good, but I also have a sad sack. I'm streetwise. I'm a sad sack. You can root for my act, even if you don't understand.
Absolutely. In fact, you might root for it more if you think you're an underdog instead of this posture of greatness.
Yes, exactly. He's wrong, and you're wrong, and they're wrong, and he's wrong. That would be a good opera.
Don't give him a chance to say, he was on Letterman?
Here, cut to, this happened more than once since we're back from the pandemic. Should I say, what do you want me to say about you? Should I say I was on Letterman? What the fuck do they care? They don't care. Why do I have to be needy towards the person in that moment? Should I tell them that I used to be funny?
Right.
Very old. Right. You know what's going on here.
I do.
I can't fool you. I had done something else to something. It was just genius. I had something else genius.
Oh,
this unbelievable.
Like sands through the hourglass.
No, I got it. Okay. I've talked about this before, but I realize more and more, and it's not a big revelation, but I realize more and more why I hated the Curly Shuffle. Okay. It was a terrible song. But here's more reasons why it was terrible. Because it came out in 1980 or something like that. Was there anyone in 1980 who wasn't aware of nyak, 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 boo, da, da, boo, da, da, boo, da, da, boo? So the song comes out and says, remember those old late night things? No, I remember it all day long. That's all they played with the Three Stooges, and they're trying to make it like an old timey time.
Well, let me stop you right there. First of all, it was much later in the 80s than 1980.
I think you're right.
Secondly, it was, if that's the case, that's me as a teenager, and I wasn't raised on the Three Stooges.
You like the Curly Shuffle?
No. I just don't like your bit. So I'm trying.
But it's like encouraging. It's like when people say, "Do the twist, do the Curly Shuffle, pretend to be one of the low-browest comedians who ever appear on TV." Curly was the funniest.
The reason I hate the song is because, for me, it will ever be a signal that a show at a bad venue is about to start. Because throughout the late 80s, so many clubs started the show by playing the Curly Shuffle.
Oh, that is just distressing. You never played at the Stress Factory, where you didn't, right?
I never played the Stress Factory. No.
You've heard of it, though, right?
I've heard of it. Yes.
It's in Philadelphia. That's not in Philadelphia, stupid. I forgot where it is. What am I calling the club?
The Stress Factory.
Is it Staten Island? I forget where it is. I've blocked it out.
Yeah.
But the guy would play before the show, babies vomiting, all of these horrible things. It ended with babies vomiting.
Was it in New Brunswick, New Jersey?
Yes, that's where it was. Yes, and the guy who was the owner of the club, Danny D. I know who he is named. Don't start with me. He does material every night. He does material. And he's a nice guy, nice fella. He puts down teachers. He goes, "Hey, are you any teachers here?" And then they do this, but that's fine. I don't care if he does 20 minutes before me. But having a baby's vomiting video, how do I follow baby's vomiting?
Is it the baby vomiting video to the 1812 Overture?
Something like that.
You know what?
Something.
You know what? I created that. I did, literally. I created that on America's Funniest Home Videos, and that's where it came from. It was my idea, and I oversaw it.
Thanks a lot.
It also helped me get the Freaks and Geeks job because Apatow loved it.
Well, then it's worth it. You know what? I'll withdraw the story if you want to even deduct it from our total.
But I think it's very funny that the bane of your existence was created by me. I love that very much. And by the way, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. There's these songs that, like the earworm songs. So one of the earworm songs I have is Friday night and it's late and you were here and I was there and you were there and I was coming to the park. And I was going, I don't understand. We're talking about a lifetime plan. Honey, don't be like doobie-dee-doo. I could barely say, come on, you know it. I said to myself, we'll go dancing in the dark, holding hands and reminiscing. How do you not know that song?
I do know that song. I was, my brain was somewhere else when you started, so I had no idea why you were singing it.
So, it was just, to me, it was just another example of person hates your voice. Person hates your voice. And reminiscing. The whole song is about, honey, don't be late. He's saying it like, why is it he reminiscing? Why can't he make his new memory? All right, shut the fuck up. I think it's a little river band.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide if that should go before the curly shuffle bit or after it in your songs of the 70s and 80s chunk.
Well,
that just occurred to you to be bothered by.
No, Todd Glass and I both were very disturbed by what's the matter, you? You say you got nothing to say. I told you to sit down in the chair. Stop looking at me. Shut up in your face. Stop talking with your mouth. That one. Shut up in your face.
Yeah, but that was just like a morning radio hit. The shut up in your face.
Well, how about when these were songs I thought were actual songs? Winchester Cathedral. That was a song that was sold to me as a young kid. Isn't that a Tiny Tim song with the What are you taking pictures of me? I don't know what you're doing. I have a feeling you're doing something over there.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
Merely changing.
Observing.
Merely changing nicotine cartridges.
Well, I have a new nicotine cartridge that's delayed effect for. What's the longest they can do? What's it called when they say it's not going to hit you now, it'll hit you later? Time release.
Uh-huh.
What's the longest? Like, could you do it? Let's go inside.
I'm taking my next Thursday pill right now, is what you're saying.
And when they used to do it when I was a kid, before you were born, and you would see something like Contact, which is not even a product anymore.
It's not. I remember it, though.
And they show you
very high-tech little capsules, though.
Yes, it would dissolve and fizz over hours of time.
Sure.
It's not. So, in other words, yeah.
Which is weird that you would think they would dissolve on contact.
Ooh. How about this one, though? This is a real commercial. I've told you this many
Is it
many
from
times.
the early 70s?
No, it's even worse. It's worse.
Because kids will love it.
Seratan this is the punchline of the commercial. Seratan backwards is nature's.
Uh-huh.
And that's how they got the name.
Yeah. That's not so much TV. A bit. That's reporting, is what you just did. That wasn't.
I'm just telling you, it's not TV often that gets to me.
No,
it's not the actual programming, whether it's a procedural or reality show. It's the interstitial, like they're pleading with you to buy some kind of a thing. That's what gets me. The commercials. That's what they're called.
Oh, it's not TV. It's those commercials that get me. It's not TV. It's those commercials that get me.
I would prefer that you never do the rubbing your beard thing because you have a beard.
Yeah.
It just seems like you're rubbing it in.
No, that's my ThinkPad.
Why am I laughing now?
Because you're fun.
I'm fun today. I'm not a horrible man who nobody wants to do a podcast. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a terrible person who has demons inside.
Oh, I thought there was going to be another thing I could.
And and has problems with impotency on and off.
Well, if it's on and off, that's not a problem. It's supposed to be on and off.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. I'm having trouble getting hard now, so I don't know what to call that.
That's dead inside is what that is.
Oh, man, imagine if I was single and trying to mingle.
There's snow on the roof and the furnace is filled with mud. It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
And let us begin with the best part of the show, according to Podcast Weekly.
Dan Wade, what? Says, I was browsing Fiddling Horse news, as the kids do.
That's ridiculous.
And I saw that Danica McKellar was originally supposed to be in the cast. If you see her, tell her I say hi.
Yes, there were many people. Wasn't the girl from the Wonder Years supposed to be in the cast?
She was.
Wasn't also at some point.
You were the only cast member who did not fluctuate.
My acting did.
Well, no, that's besides the point. But you were the only person who was cast in a role and then was in the movie as that role.
It's just crazy. And how many times do you yell at me? Not to me, to the person you're talking to. Oh, well, you said to.
Is that okay, Josh? Is that okay, Josh?
But had that. CJ's a little bit cart before the horse productions, but
yes, yes. It's like, I had an idea yesterday when I was reading the script that there should be a magical land inside my belly. We're shooting it tomorrow.
Right.
We're going to shoot it tomorrow.
Right. Delicious Mick says, I've got to say, I couldn't help but feel that the theme of the first half of last week's episode was a punchline or a point would be nice. It's heartening to not feel alone in that sentiment. Tell me if this is relatable. When I'm too stoned at a mall or some other highly populated venue, I become so overwhelmingly self-conscious of how I'm walking that I feel like my gait devolves into Vince McMahon after 11 IPAs. That's very specific. I rarely get any concerned looks, so I think it's all in my head, but do you guys ever find yourself so high in public that it affects your coordination? Love the show. Andy, unblock me.
Now, let me ask you a question here. Isn't he saying the first part, isn't it like a backhanded thing? Because what's the first part?
It wasn't backhanded. It was a straight-on insult.
Straight-handed. There were no jokes in the first part of the show?
I think that's what he was saying.
There he goes, oh, okay.
Unfocused, comedically, perhaps.
Right. So I think what he would like in a perfect world is he would like this to be an ongoing thing, where I check with him or someone like him, maybe a robot even, about what is the worst thing about me, and I adjust the show. And what we need is people to say, maybe it's not the annoying mouth noises I make.
Right.
Maybe it's the way you can smell me through the microphone.
Well, he's
that.
trying to be a surrogate father for you.
I think there's a lot of things going on with Delicious Mick that have nothing to do with me. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
All right. You believe what you want. Do you ever get too stoned that you worry that people think you're stoned?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think unless you probably have never felt this way, but most people who smoke pot have gone through that. You're having a bad trip, kind of.
I haven't felt that way since I was like 18, maybe.
Right,
yeah.
Right. But you felt it once, maybe when
sure.
Something? Yeah.
When I could get in trouble for being stoned.
That was exactly.
That was pretty much.
I want to tell you, I've told so many people, my therapist, Susan, and I don't tell her as good as you, but everybody loves the squirt gun story. The squirt gun.
With my mom?
In the house.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, of course, I'm using it with my therapist as setting up the difference in childhoods. Your mom screamed at you 12 times not to do something that made sense not to do.
Right.
My mom, you never knew when she screamed at you, and you never felt like you never knew. It was like you were either the worst or you were recovering. So I was able to convey, which I think is true, that you two kind of thought it was funny even while it was happening.
Oh, yeah, no, we thought it was badass. We totally did. We couldn't believe that she actually followed through on a threat like that.
And he's like, oh, Claire, absolutely. I would love to I'm making up all kinds of improv.
Sure, just stomp, stomp, stomp while she's doing it.
And that she walks outside, but she doesn't want to do it in the house.
Right.
And so that's why I'm a sad soul.
It really was the most badass moment of my mother's parenting life, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, she did other great things. She did other stupid things, but just pure badass. And for me, all the better because it was Chad's squirt gun. It wasn't. It was so on my behalf in a way. It was so.
Did Chad squirt her by mistake?
No, Chad squirted me while she witnessed it, and she just held out her hand.
I've been saying that she's on the phone. She's already told you that she gets squirted. No, she's just seeing something she said over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
No squirt guns in the house.
Yes.
The argument about playing outside with a squirt gun that's not a really good argument. I mean, you can still do some damage.
No, you can't.
But
no, it's a squirt gun.
So you have to have the upholstery also has to, and inside it's only good inside.
No, I'm just saying that there's nothing wrong with playing with one outside, as you were sort of implying.
No. I was saying that why wouldn't you want to go outside to play? You wouldn't ruin the furniture.
Because it wasn't so much playing as tormenting. It was tormenting that he was doing. It wasn't like a scheduled activity we were in the midst of.
Now I get it. It's like, let's go outside and play with our squirt guns. No, that's not what it was at all.
No.
It was like, you can bother me.
It was, stop it! Hand out, smash, smash, smash.
Is that what? So you sound like me when you were a kid when he was.
Well, I was 5. You're 67.
8.
68. Zeke Fossey says, I told you he'd be here. Says, Andy and Josh, if you could both swap lives for a day, what do you think the other would find most surprising about your day-to-day routine?
I think that I would be surprised at how small a penis I have. Is that the right way to do that joke?
If you'd like, however.
No, we're switching bodies.
Sure.
I would probably, I'll tell you, I don't know if I could get used to the, I can't think of anything that's not just insulting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You'd be lightheaded from the altitude.
Seriously though, how is the weather up there? Don't fuck around with me.
Now you can find out. Tommy Barcanero says, Josh, do you consider yourself to be an especially tough critic when it comes to movies and shows? If so, do you think that comes with being a filmmaker yourself? I often find myself going, man, Josh once again disliked a thing I liked. But I always find your reviews to be insightful and love when you and Andy talk about your recent watchings. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I do consider myself to be an especially tough critic. I know, a downer even. And it probably is because I've been making this stuff for so long, and I know I can spot the compromises and lazy choices very easily. Yeah. And maybe even get mad at myself for thinking I might have made the same lazy choice or something, but I don't think that's it. I think I'm just mad at them for being lazy. Right. What I hope is, I don't really care if I'm a tough critic, but what I hope is that I'm encouraging of people who take chances and take big swings and, who don't do the hacky, easy choice and things.
Don't go the hat. Right. Yeah. I think well, also it's like,
but when it comes to docs, it's absolutely because I'm a doc maker.
Right. Because you're actually made the specific style of movie.
Yeah. Well, because I know exactly usually what motivated someone's choice to do something.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But you know what? I was like, the other day, it's like, I don't get bothered by those things, even when I'm watching movies. I haven't written as much, but I do get, when it comes to comedic, what's it called? Incorrect premises. So there's like a commercial where Sam Elliott is saying like, it's USAA, and Sam Elliott's like, when USAA.
I'm a veteran.
That's right. And he goes, that's great. He goes, so Gronkowski's watching him. And Gronkowski goes, "That's great, you're in." And he goes, "I know I'm in." I went, "What is he in about?" In other words, it's so obvious that you're in for what? Is he watching as a critic or something? It's just so obvious that he had to say "in."
Well,
so
but the whole series of commercials is
ridiculous.
Is Gronkowski trying to get USAA insurance, and them rejecting him because he's not a veteran.
No, but I'm saying make it grammatically make sense. It doesn't make sense to go at the end of something. He's watching. You're in. You're in. That was great. You're in. What's he in?
He's into USAA, which is what Gronk is trying to get into.
Okay, I don't want to argue with you. I refuse to argue.
You gave a bad example. You gave a really bad example.
You're right. You're right.
Maybe I wish the TV bothered you more than the commercials. I really do.
You know what? That's the thing.
Dan Marsh says, "Hey guys, you've been cast in a classic 80s sitcom. Fantastic. What role do you want to play? The nosy landlord, the wisecracking butler, or maybe the bachelor neighbor with the clever double entendres?"
Come on.
I think that's Andy is the neighbor with the entendres.
Oh, where's your wife, Eddie? Oh, I guess she's not putting home having someone else's penis in.
That's a single entendre.
Oh,
cut.
The nosy landlord to me seems too much. I always think of Three's Company, and
I think that's what they're thinking of too.
What's the third one?
The wisecracking butler, or the bachelor neighbor with the clever.
Could be the wisecracking.
I think it's unquestionably going to be. I'm going to be the wisecracking butler. No one buys me as a swinging bachelor.
Well, just in terms of your penis, get it?
I heard it's small. I heard it's very small.
That was a joke from before, earlier in the show.
Oh, no, I meant when I was dating.
Oh.
Daniel Bird Doctor says, "Andy." Is that a tremor? What is that?
I'm trying to get it to go. I think I can just do something.
Daniel Bird Doctor says, "Andy, in late 2019, you imagined what it would sound like if Adam Sandler and Dennis Miller spoke at your funeral. As Miller, you said, 'I haven't seen such a low turnout since I recorded my last comedy album,' which is one of your funniest off-the-cuff bits ever, in my opinion."
What is it? What's the line?
It doesn't matter. You have to go look for yourself.
Okay, I have to go look at it. Okay.
I can't chuff.
I don't believe it.
I'm not going to chuff you up like that anymore.
I thought he was actually creating a fake thing. It never happened because I have no memory of this.
My question, well, of course not. It said in late 2019. That's why. My question for this week is, what does it sound like watching live footage of the fires from above and seeing your own houses, as Josh described last week, with Dennis Miller in the helicopter giving a play-by-play? Let's say he's at least aware of which house is Andy's. And go.
All right. Look, Cha-Cha, if you're stupid enough to live in Sherman Oaks when you have the money to get the fuck out of there, I've got money. But even stand up, okay.
We'll keep going.
What's that?
That's the helicopter sound.
Hey, Chacho. Hey, look. I got Dick Cheney, but I can't. You know what? I can't even summon enough things. You have stuff to do. You can do it.
Nah, it's over now.
Okay. Just for helicopters.
By the way, I didn't see my house on TV. I saw the plane make the big dump.
Yes.
And then fly right in front of my window.
But we both could go up.
I saw it on TV making the dump, and then in real life in front of my window.
Well, I went up to the roof of the apartment building I live in. I could see the fires.
It's a condo.
You could too.
It's a condo. It's not an apartment.
Don't say that. I'm trying to throw people off. That's a co-op.
San Fernapolis says, "Greetings, fellas. Found myself recently impressed by some Jimmy Stewart facts. Beyond the sugary heartstring pulls with a Christmas ghost or a giant invisible rabbit, this belovedly wistful stammerer of dog-themed poetry went and done murdered, at the very least, a ton of Nazis in World War II. As an already Oscar-winning actor, the eventual Brigadier General Stewart volunteered for a flight training that led him to completing 20 bombing missions over Germany. Isn't it funny how that's 20 more than John Wayne ever did?
I know.
If the swaggering chicken hawk had actually joined the service in his life in any fashion. Wow. That's...
is the thing that he, quote, regretted most about his life.
This is almost like Curly Shuffle ire. But
well,
I did know that about Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah. Well, people don't know that McCarthy, who I should have supported in 1968 instead of Humphrey, a lot of people don't know that he was a World War II pilot. I didn't know it because I was too busy living in Humphrey's ass.
Hubert Horatio Humphrey, my friend.
I know, HHH.
You could name a metronome after that shit. Daisy Petunia says, Andy, Josh and Andy, after smoking weed, this is a theme day. After smoking weed, do you ever have those deep philosophical moments where you start to question something totally random, like, why do we call it a drive-through when you're not actually driving through anything? Or do you mostly just get lost in snack ideas? This should prompt some fun stoner-themed philosophical musings. I asked AI to draft the question.
That's pretty good. Well, you know what? I have all of those things happen. Anything where I can space, I'm already spaced out. I already have ADHD. So I'm taking the pot is to relieve my OCD. It makes my ADHD worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, it could be anything from, hi, can you tell me where my wife is? Or to, you have shoes. Or how did I get here at the packaging plant? Can you point me back towards my wife?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I'm boring when it comes to the weed. I don't think about the fact that I'm stoned. It doesn't really change my perception of the world really at all. It probably
I don't get high per se.
I do get high, but I mean it's not a world shifting kind of high at all.
Even the first time?
More so obviously when I was a teenager or whatever,
Yeah.
but no, it's always been much more of a physical relief for me than a mental untethering.
True. Even though it has psychotropic properties. Someone shoot me. Seriously.
Okay. On my way. Greg Kelly says, I'm homesick and caught the Judd Apatow film Relative Family, starring James Franco as a successful director who reunites with his long-lost father, played by James Mason. James, what's an Apatow set like compared to someone like Alfred Hitchcock?
Is this a joke? Is he making this up? He wasn't in an Apatow movie. You weren't in. You were in an Apatow movie?
I've been dead long since Apatow began. But nonetheless, he summoned me from the grave for this comedic piece with the young James Franco. It's night and day between Apatow and Hitch, as I like to call him.
You know what? You told me you swear you wouldn't even do James Mason anymore. So I applaud your ability to say, you know what, this guy wants it. You know what? Okay.
This hesitant impression has been brought to you by Thunderbird Wine.
Does it taste like other wine?
It has an unusual taste all its own.
Oh, okay.
Seth Dick III says, I was watching Rizzoli and Isles, and Rizzoli said to Isles, good luck getting that past Lieutenant Washington. I spit out my drink. Why can't more shows duplicate this chemistry? Is the writing or acting that makes the show what it is? Makes this show what it is?
Is it Suits?
No, it's Rizzoli and Isles.
I thought. Oh, I thought that was like a Suits.
It's like a Suits, but it's a different show.
And are they accountants? Or are they lawyers? Or are they two funny guys?
I thought they were circus clowns, but I'm not sure.
Oh, they have so Rizzoli and Isles is about a accident firm, accident chasing guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Rizzoli. Have you been hurt in an accident? Like that.
Good.
Come down and see me or Isles.
You've got them rolling in the Rizzoli.
Suits can't be good if it's just all about suits. So that's just all about how did you get that suit? Like the whole show?
A show about tailors.
That's ridiculous.
John Dunbar says, learning that Josh watches sports with the DVR method to skip commercials, can he recommend any fast-forwarding tips? I often seem to hold the button a tad too long and catch a few plays in advance before it scoots back. And too many times it gives away a big play.
Yep, I hear you.
The real there's a, on some DVRs, there's like a rollback feature. So when you stop, it goes back a certain amount, I think.
Yes.
So there is a skill to it. You have to stop at sort of the first, within the first second or two of the actual action for it to roll back to the start of that segment.
Right. I'm just so busy cursing at the machine.
Put the time in it, I guess, is my recommendation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to.
Yeah. But it makes sports so much better.
Yeah, it does. It does. I try to. Yes.
It's why I can't. It's part of why I can't cut the cord is because I get so much pleasure from skipping commercials. There
couldn't be more commercials than there are in live sporting events. It's literally, it's unbelievable how many there are.
Yes. Well, that's their purpose.
Exactly. You can't get away from it. You're gonna order a chalupa, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I think I want a chalupa now.
I've got one coming from Amazon today, in fact.
What does that mean? That was a joke.
Yeah, sort of.
Because I ordered chalupas through Amazon.
Yeah. That was the same joke, really. It's the same exact joke. It's the same
Well, we're back with the worst comedy duo. We're back with a very angry comedy duo who's given up.
The comedy duo who doesn't get their own jokes.
Huh? What are you saying? I didn't have any problems with the doctor today. Why are you telling these nice people that I had something in my pants? Shannon
Norman says, hey, babes. Any plans this year to take the act out on the road? A festival, maybe? Also, what are Yin's favorite comedy festivals? I don't have a favorite comedy festival because I don't get invited to them.
I used to go to Montreal, but now, you know what? There have been fun festivals. I've had fun in Austin because I liked the town before it got invaded by conservative creeps.
Yeah, that's Moon Tower.
Yeah, I'm being followed by a moon tower. Can you tell I'm getting a little tired?
No.
Can you tell us how many more? And look,
don't even fucking start with how many more. Don't even fucking start. I will reach through this screen and wring your fucking neck. John Handcuff says, how has Andy not started a comedy club called The Panic Room?
By the way, hi, John Handcuff. I miss you. See, I have people throughout the country who listen to the show.
Yeah.
I used to do stand-up with. And you don't have the bass that I should do the Panic Room.
You should, but you already played the Stress Factory and it didn't work out. Bimington Weiner says, watching some MST 3000 eps from the very early 90s the other night on a random stream, my wife and I asked ourselves, is that really Josh's voice in that puppet? Two stoned people squinting at the screen and cupping their ears. We know you're a master of voices, but is that really you? Well, the way to tell is if I'm there as a mad scientist in the beginning of the show, that's me.
That's him.
If it's Frank, it's not me. It's Kevin Murphy being Servo.
Oh, okay. And there was a lot of controversy about this at the time.
No, there really wasn't.
I'm sorry.
Keith Brown says, how is it that I'm just now, with test show 387, finding out that two people I've followed for years had a podcast together? Besides using a time machine to save Harambe, how can we save the world from the assholes that are trying to wreck it?
I think we do it one thought spiral at a time.
Yes.
Maybe we can't bring world peace.
Maybe we can start a healing spiral.
And you know how it starts? With sending money to it's no disaster relief. It has nothing to do with it. You go to cupofcoffee.com, you give, and we want to
at least get it right. Buymeacoffee.com.
Buy me a coffee. And we want to promise.
Thought spiral. Don't give it to some other schmuck.
None of the money's going straight to us. We're not diverting it to other people.
Right.
And you can rest assured.
Josh says, "Hey fellers, long-time spiraler, first-time questioner. When you write songs, does it scratch the same itch as joke writing? Does it come from the same place? I am myself a songwriter, but rarely write anything funny on purpose." For me, totally different place. Jokes don't even come from a place. It's just jokes are part of my personality.
Right.
That sounds arrogant or whatever.
No,
that sounds pretentious.
You
but I think in jokes.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
A song is the amount of excitement and pride I feel having written a song 100% eclipses the amount of pride and excitement I have when writing even a really great joke.
Well, because if you songwriting by definition is probably harder than joke writing.
Much
you know
harder.
I mean?
Much harder.
It's much harder. So you're jealous of anybody who can plug. Not jealous, but you wish you could plug into the thing.
The thing they have in common for me is they tend to come all at once for the most part.
Yeah.
Like I can write. There's plenty of songs I've written a verse and chorus for and abandoned.
Yeah.
But the songs I finish tend to happen very quickly. It tends to happen in one sitting, kind of at least getting very close to what the song is.
Right.
Or I lose momentum very quickly on a song. A joke I can tweak for a while if it needs it. But
yeah, a song is a special thing. But I'd never be able to. Scrambled eggs came to me in 5 minutes.
Stephen Elton Yates says, "Thank you for continuing to bring us the podcast. As your country is disassembled for its parts, it means a lot to have our weekly dose of you two mentions. Any favorite comic books from childhood? Did your mom throw them away?"
I liked the usual fare as a child, Mad Magazine in that time period, and Archie's and all kinds of crap. It wasn't until I was mature that I was able to see the Special Underground comics.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't a big comic kid, but I was a very big Mad, and if I was sick, Cracked magazine.
Oh, I loved the Fantastic Four for a certain time period. I did love those Marvel characters, but I grew out of it by the time I was, didn't stick with me.
I would get comic books once in a while.
Right.
And but they were sort of these freestanding things to me. I didn't have any kind of superhero allegiance or.
Right.
It was all Mad Magazine was the thing, I guess, if we're calling that a comic.
Don't go to another area. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to just stop.
Area.
I'm really getting irritated at you.
But my wife is going to be bad.
Duckman says, "Would you mind reading this letter from my daughter?"
Oh.
All right, you happy?
Oh.
You happy?
I am happy. Yeah, I'm sorry I was...
Finish.
No, I'm sorry I made a big fuss about it.
All right. She writes, Steve's email to podcast with Andy Kindler. "Hey guys, Steve here. You might remember me from my girlfriend's, now wife, email she sent in a while ago about Andy telling me to refill the soap dispenser. Yes, I did refill it. Thanks, Andy. But anyways, my daughter Daisy has recently been absolutely obsessed with Bob's Burgers. When I told her that Mort's voice actor is on this podcast, she went crazy and has been begging me to write an email. So I'm finally doing it. She wanted to ask what your favorite scene or line is in Bob's Burgers. It doesn't have to be Mort. She also wanted me to send this picture she drew while watching the show in our garage. It's her favorite Mort scene / line. Signed Steve.
Oh.
Signed Steve, but P.S. This was actually all written by Daisy.
Daisy. It was, first of all, it's very
nice. And the picture's very good, Daisy. I'll send it to Andy.
I can't see the picture right now, but Daisy, I'm very happy that you enjoy the show. My favorite line, I only can think of my own self because I'm a narcissist, and so I think it's actually Lauren Bouchard like this line that I say, "Wigs are scary, kids," and the joke is I'm wearing two different toupees. And I'm assuaging them about wigs are scary. something like that. And also, just I like my joie de vivre. I like Mort's joie de vivre. Thank you very much, Daisy.
Stephen Chaotic Neutral says, "Hey guys, sorry the Kennedy Center people overlooked you again. Sure, Conan is funny, but is he Mark Twain funny? Is he Andy Kindler funny? Is he Josh Weinstein funny? It's not exactly a career booster either. Leno won it 10 years ago, and now it's the hood ornament on a 36 Packard." Tweet Bahara says, "I was flattered that the first thing you put in your bag, your go bag, was the drawing I did of you. Glad you guys are okay." Yes, that was the first thing. Tweet, yes.
Oh,
you keep feeling that.
What? You don't have to be that way with him. He's a nice fella.
BD West says, "Guys, 2 new sitcom reviews for you. Shifting gears. Tim Allen disparages Portland exactly 1 minute into the pilot. Kat Denning's still cute. Mega disappointing.
It's really a terrible show. And
Going Dutch. That. Dennis Leary looks 100 years old. Danny Pudi has chops. Disappointing.
It's a horrible show. And Danny Pudi does have chops. He was in a show that I remember he was pretty good in. I remember. Good reviews. Solid reviews. I would think that you'd have these things organized before we start the show. I'm sorry.
Okay. And finally, Andy, when you're acting in a sitcom and your league's funnier than the number one on the call sheet, let's call him Bob, does Bob tell you to rein in the funny so as not to upstage him, or does he get a producer to do it?
Is this on Bob's Burgers?
No, I think it was more the Bob Saget call sheet.
Oh, no. Bob Saget was, the last thing I'm going to do now is slam Bob Saget. That's the last thing I want to do at this point. Because Bob Saget was a very nice gentleman. And he actually has good comedy instincts, Bob.
If only you could learn to kiss up to live people.
That's true. Nothing but obnoxious. Am I could have won that spelling bee.